Here's what's going on in the world. Really simply, using a whole bunch of spiritual teachings combined in one basic concept. Here's the eternal you. Okay? I don't know how to draw it, but it's whatever you think the eternal you would be. Soul works for a lot of people. Consciousness works for a lot of people. Atman, your divine self. Even your mind would be fine as long as it's not obsessing over the flesh. Okay? The flesh self is the temporary you. The flesh self is an extension of this, so it's you, but it's not the eternal you. That's the lower self. This is the high self. This is what you are forever. It's the thing that survives death, okay? Very simply, E equals MC squared would back this up. Everything is energy. This is energy. That's energy. It's all energy. But the eternal you is eternal energy, and it's useful to think of yourself that way. So we're living in a chaotic world of duality. There's a couple teachings I'll touch on real quick. I've had this F. Scott Fitzgerald quote up here for a couple years now. The true test of first-rate intelligence is to hold two opposing ideas in mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function. Okay? Two opposing ideas. What does that mean? The world's filled with left and right and up and down and dark and light. Okay? Well, first-rate intelligence understands how these things go together. Well, Buddha's last words were, strive for your own liberation with diligence. What does that mean? Your own liberation is learning that you're this and not that, or at least you're eternally this and you're temporarily that. You can use everything in the physical world to do this. That's recognizing that you could have two opposing ideas and still functioning by realizing that the eternal you can handle all of it. And it could be on the left or the right. There's no reason to argue over that. That's what your own liberation would be. In the Course of Miracles, there's a paraphrase I'm going to say. It says to use flesh to teach spirit. Use the physical world to teach the eternal world. Recognize that you're in a physical world, but make it spiritual. Don't take spirit and make it flesh. Take the flesh and make it spirit. Jesus in John 7:24 says, do not judge by mere appearances, judge correctly. Well, correct judgment is he's talking to this part of yourself, not this. But this is what everybody does with religion, makes it about the flesh. Jesus doesn't. He says you have to find out who you are, as it says in Proverbs, in all thy ways acknowledge him and he'll make straight your paths. Once you know who you are, you'll know what to do, okay? That's super important. Stop telling other people what to do. That's judging, or that's striving for their liberation. And that's how most of us are operating. It's why we live in a world where there's right doing and wrong doing, in which people are insisting they know what's right and what's wrong, especially for others. And yet Rumi very wisely says, out there beyond the idea of right doing and wrong doing, there's a field, I'll meet you there. Well, there's the field, much bigger, it includes all of us. You might even say it's heaven, okay, or nirvana. But beyond the idea of right doing and wrong doing, there's a true eternal self. Now we can have a debate in the physical world about whether or not we should wear masks or get vaccinated or vote for the left or the right, or even pro-choice, pro-life, gay marriage. You can have religion discussions now by recognizing beyond all those debates there's a field. I'll meet you there. The field is a very spiritual field. What happens physically, you can weave your way through ins and ups and downs and left and right. As long as you know that you're a spiritual being, you've done what you needed to do.